folks, Sandamtod here, Saturday the 13th of April. Gonna try to break the burnout streak. Go to these pawn shops and look around like I need to. I mean, really, I've got 8 to 10 PS3 games I just bought for the damn thing. And, plus I'm playing Bioshock, so whatever I buy, I'm probably not going to play anyway, but it's a nice day. I felt like getting out, and this is usually what I do when I go out and goof around, so I decided to hit the trails. Right now I'm driving down Truman Road in Independence, Missouri, named after Harry Truman. The Harry Truman Library is a block over. We've passed by it a couple times, probably when I'm rambling on and I've never shown it, but you know, every president gets their own library. His is right here in Independence. So anyway, I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna put you on hold until we get over here to the pawn shop, and then maybe we'll take camera in. I don't know. Sometimes I forget when I get there because I get excited. So we'll cruise. All right, folks, we're at the Cash America. This place is hopping like a frog on a hot plate. I don't know if I'll be able to have the camera out inside or not, if they'll be too busy, so go check it out.
Are you fired up yet? I've been waiting. Okay.
Alright, we're coming up on Cash America number 2. The first one was kind of a wash. And they're busier than shit. I don't know what was going on. Everybody needs a little spring cash, I guess. But, yeah, they didn't really have anything. They wanted like $20-something for a fucking Dante's Inferno for the 360 that was a greatest hits or something. You don't charge somebody $25 for a greatest hits game that should be $20, you know, or less, in my opinion. So anyway, this pawn shop's not quite as busy, so maybe we can get in and get out. Maybe they got more of a selection. The other place had an okay selection, it just didn't have anything I wanted, so back to it. Alright, you know the drill. I gotta put this thing in my pocket. I can't figure out how to pause this camera, so I just gotta leave it running when it's in my pocket and trim the damn video later, so. Afro Samurai. I don't know, it's $5, but I don't know if it's worth getting or not. Then they have Resistance for $5. I've never played Resistance, and they have this game called Vanquish for $8. I don't know. Not sure. So, we're heading to the third pawn shop. This dude's going to try to blaze by me real quick before... This is a little 2-lane road. This is one little 2-lane road that goes all the way out. Well, you can take the highway, but then you end up on the other side of town. One little 2-lane road that goes all the way through the middle of this, and you can take a left and go to a suburb called Lee Summit, take a right and go to a suburb called Raytown, and that's where we're headed. We're going to Raytown. We're going to go to their pawn shop, And I think there's one other pawn shop in this area that's known as Ruskin that I may go over because I think it's close-ish. So we're going to drive down this little backwater and get over there and see if they got anything. So far I've spent more in gas, I think, than I have on buying stuff, but you know, sometimes that's the way it goes. But when the weather's nice, you know, it's 55-ish. I got the shorts on though, rocking the shorts, and, you know, enjoying the day. So we'll sign off. I don't know how long this battery's going to hold out. I didn't put new batteries in the camera before I left, so I'm going to sign off until we get over to the Raytown pawn shop, and then we'll go in and see what they got. Alright folks, another pawn. I went in and ran over to the one out in Ruskin. They had that sucker on lockdown. I mean, they like had the buzzer to buzz you into the door and shit. Crazy. And they were busy, but they didn't really have anything. Had a bunch of Harry Potter Blu-ray DVDs that I decided not to get. As far as games go, I didn't really see. I mean, they had some, but nothing that was junk. A lot of rock band stuff and Guitar Hero and stuff. So anyway, this is the Cash America Advance. You can see it's 246, 58 degrees. We're going to cruise in, see what they got. I'm going to take the camera, but I don't know if I'll be pulling it out or not. Depends on how many people are in here. But last time I was in here, they had something a little out of the ordinary. Let's see if they still have it. They may not. I'm not sure if I'm going to even get it. If I don't, I'll talk about it. But if I do get it, you'll see it. So anyway, let's go in. Look at this. They got one Uncharted 3 for $10, and then they have 3 of them here. They're all marked 30. So I'm thinking about getting the $10 one. Not really seeing a whole lot that's reasonably priced that I'm digging, so this might be it. Alright folks, I'm headed home. I'm done with the shopping. I spent the last 2.5 hours driving around to different pawn shops. I did pick up a few things. I am excited about, well, I'm excited about all this stuff, but I'm especially excited about the one thing I picked up at the last pawn shop. They still had what I was wanting, so I'm going to show it at the house. Another thing they had the last time I was there was a red Nintendo Wii for like $60, and I thought that was pretty cool, you know, because you do see the black ones and the white ones quite often, but you don't see the other colored ones. And I think the like blue and pink ones are kind of cheap. I don't know, I never really researched the Wii, but I always planned on either getting you know, one of the original ones, or you know, a black, white, or red one, basically. They had 2 black ones. I don't even remember. I think they had 2 black ones and a white one up there today. I think they wanted 50 a piece for them. I think they wanted 60 for the red one. I was considering that if the next time I went in there they had the red one, that I would buy it, but it was gone today, so that's a little bit of sad news, but it saved me $60 in the long run anyway. And now we're taking this little 2-lane hippity-skippity road back to Independence. Hey folks, Sandamtod here, back again, back from the pawn shop bonanza. Went to 3 or 4 pawn shops. I found something really cool. I'm going to save it to the end. And it's retro, so it's a little bit cool, but we're going to try to go through these in the order that I kind of picked them up, and then we'll show the one thing last. But how y'all doing? Haven't been done a pickups video in a little bit. Thought about doing a couple gameplay videos here and there, but I haven't really been. You should watch my video game burnout video. Got quite a bit of response. Seems like a lot of you people go through the same hems and haws. You sometimes will be hot and heavy playing, and other times you're just you'll go a week or a few days or whatever, or might put it on the shelf for a year and do something else. I remember for a while in my 20s, I didn't play video games at all because I was learning to play the guitar and was playing the guitar with my friends and hanging out and doing things like that. So I was more into music and stuff like that at that point. So there's probably a good 2 years where, you know, I played them, but I wasn't serious into it. It was like I was playing like games like, you know, Road Rash or, you know, NFL Game Day with my friends and stuff. It wasn't really as much of a solo gig. So let's get this party going. So to not belabor that fact, we'll show the goods. I think it was Easter weekend. I guess it was a couple weekends ago now. The local retro store was having a sale again. Excuse me. Any major holiday, they kind of have a buy two get one on all their used merchandise. And I always kind of look at it, instead of being a buy two get one, as just get 3 games cheaper than normal kind of deal. Because they're a little pricey. They're pricier than GameStop. And especially if you're buying retro stuff, it's one of the only places you can go other than going to the internet. So, you know, or thrift stores or whatever. But good luck. So, anyway, went over to buy two get one. Had been, like I have said, doing the Harry Potter thing. Had watched all these movies. Had gotten the final one, but I hadn't watched the other from like the 4th one on, and I got them all, but I was missing the Deathly Hallows. I decided to go ahead and get the 7th movie on Blu-ray, since I had the 8th movie on Blu-ray, and they were part 1 and part 2, so I decided I was going to get that. So while we were there, us, I guess, the royal we, to quote the Big Lebowski, but I went in and picked it up, the Deathly Hallows Part 1, Deathly Hallows, sorry, for $9.99. It was, you know, how complete could it be? It's got a little catalog and, you know, shit like that in there, but this isn't like an extra special edition one or anything. It's just kind of basic, but it was $10. That was the most expensive Blu-ray I bought. So the Blu-rays were buy two get one. So, you know, I just got this. It's my first Blu-ray player. So I decided I was going to get a couple of Blu-ray. Not sure if I'm going to really fill out my catalog or what, but I started kind of looking, and I picked up a couple that I already owned on DVD, and I was like, why are you buying these again on Blu-ray? You know, yeah, there may be a couple of special features, but I think even the ones I was getting, there wasn't a whole lot of new special features. It was like, I think I had picked up The Matrix, the first one, the legitimate one, and I had picked up, I think, Pulp Fiction, and it had a sticker on it that said Quentin Tarantino certified or something. You know, but I started looking at it, and it wasn't that much different than what I had already had, and I was like, well, you know what I should do is, if I'm going to buy Blu-rays, I should buy movies that, unless they're really cheap or there's a reason for buying them, I shouldn't buy them again, you know, right off the bat. So I put those back, and I picked up a couple other ones. What was funny is I ended up picking up 2 movies by the same director, and I didn't even really know it. This one I went to the theater and saw. There's a couple different versions of this one, but this one's a director's cut. So I decided to go ahead and get it. Like I said, did go to the theater and watch it, but I'm interested to see. I still haven't watched this director's cut. I did finally finish watching all the Harry Potters. I thought that wrapped up okay. I thought, I'm not going to spoil anything for those people that love Harry Potter or haven't watched it. If you love it, I assume you already saw it, but, you know, I thought it all tied together pretty well and everything, so I wasn't disappointed. But the movie I actually bought that's the director's cut is The Watchmen. yeah, I was kind of looking at it, and Zack Snyder had directed it. I knew this one and who had directed it and everything, so I went in and got it. Like I said, I haven't watched this. I haven't watched this other one either. But, and then I get a free one, so out of that, you're going to get something, you're going to get the cheapest one for free. So if I got another one that's over $7.99, I'm going to get the $7.99 one free or whatever. But I went in and picked this up. I have not seen this either. At one point, I had gotten a copy of it and was going to sit down and watch it, but I never did. And now this is the extended cut, so I went in and got it. It's another Zack Snyder director movie, it looks like. And it's called Sucker Punch. I've heard decent things about this. I just have never gotten around to watching it. The original cut and the director's cut are on two different, or extended cut and regular cut are on two different CDs on that one. So we picked up these 3 Blu-rays for $18. So basically we got them for $6 a piece, which is kind of cool. Other than the Deathly House, that's the only other one that I picked up. I've looked at the pawn shops and stuff, but to be honest, when I started looking for older movies or movies that aren't just out, that are within the past year or whatever, that are a little more pricey, if you're just looking for some other movies, like probably The Watchmen or whatever, you're almost better off going to Walmart. I know that sounds weird, but Walmart had a big bin of $7 Blu-rays, and it seemed like that a lot of titles. I think I even saw Sucker Punch in this bin, and it was brand new. And I know I saw Pulp Fiction, the same one, in there for $7, and they were $7.99 used at vintage stock, and they were new in the bin at Walmart. So I'd say buying Blu-rays, you're almost better off stepping to Walmart if you're not opposed to shopping there. So anyway, on with the next round. I bought 3 video games as well while I was there. I still have my PS3 fever to a degree, and especially picking up what they call exclusives in the know, which you all are in the know. So I was talking about God of War 3 and how I was going to get the Ascension pack originally, bundle with the red Slim PS3 and get God of War Saga. And then I started looking at it, and I just didn't like the look of that PS3 that's super slim, and it just looked kind of cheap. And I was like, you know what? Plus, 2 of the games on the Saga disc were downloadable, and I don't really have the internet to download them right now, and it's just like, it would have been a waste. So, and then I found God of War 3 at the pawn shop for $10, so I decided that I was just going to, go the other route and maybe pick up the HD collection for the 1 and 2, and then pick up the other one, the Origins collection. Well, that's what we got here. I found a copy of the Origins collection at vintage stock for $16.99. I don't know if that's a little pricey or not, but when you figure up that all 3 of these were $16.99, so that's $34. So you divide that by 3, you basically paid $11 for each game. So that's about what I was paying at the pawn shop, so I didn't think it was that bad. Neither one of these, I think I priced these before I went. I don't think I could have got it for $16.99. Cheaper than $16.99 with shipping and everything. So I went ahead and got it. And it has Ghosts of Sparta and Chains of Olympus, both the PSP games on it. I did stick it in. I thought it looked alright, but I could definitely tell a difference between the God of War 3 and that it was created specifically for the PS3 and this. I could tell, hit myself in the head. I think I could tell a difference just in maybe the color shading or something. It just seemed like The other one looked just more visually pleasing than these, but these are solid games, and they looked good. I mean, they looked better than PS2 level graphics. I mean, at least God of War 2 level graphics, you know, so I was like not upset about that. And that's an exclusive as well. So far, the only one that I had picked up that was not exclusive was Mirror's Edge, which I have not started playing. I'm actually playing Infamous 1 right now, but it kind of got co-opted because I'm back on my 360, and I explained that. I did explain it, but I'll explain it again. But I decided I was digging Infamous, so I decided I would go ahead and pick this up. I don't know. I've heard that the PlayStation Move is just a piece of junk in a way. It was just one of those things that the Move had to be made because the Kinect was made, and the Kinect and the Move both had to be made because of the Wii. So it was like one of those deals, but I've heard mixed things about the Move and the Kinect. I have no desire to get a Kinect, but it seems like you can get a Move pretty cheap, and I think that's just because it didn't really sell. This says that it has Move compatibility, blah, 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 compatibility, which I don't understand, but takes up 3 gigs of hard drive space. Infamous 2. People are like, well, you're going to fill your hard drive up pretty fast because you didn't get a very big hard drive. Well, if I'm not playing games and it doesn't erase my trophies or anything, I'll delete the game content and just reinstall it when I'm playing the game. But Infamous 2, this one looks equally good. I did not stick this in because I am playing 1. I didn't want any kind of spoilery things happening in the intro as I started it up. So both those were $16.99, and then I got a free one. I decided that I wasn't necessarily going to look for just exclusives. Originally, I was going to get the Prince of Persia trilogy HD pack, and I was like, why are you getting this? You have all 3 of the Prince of Persias on the PS2. This isn't necessarily, I think it was at least $16.99. It's not cheaper than the other games or anything. So why spend your money on it? You know, I mean, it's just maybe wait until later when it comes down in price or something. So I decided to pick up something that I really kind of wanted, but I had let slide for a little while. And so they were down with the Game of the Year edition. I mean, that's what they had up for sale. So I went in and picked this up. This one requires 51 megabytes of hard drive space only. This one is the Game of the Year edition of Dead Island. I've heard good things about Dead Island. I did watch the intro on this, where he's kind of at like a rave or something. He's like drinking and doing, you know, partying and stuff, and then some shit starts happening, but he doesn't like seem to know whether it's reality or whether he's just fucked up. So he goes to his room and kind of passes out, and then it kind of goes into the start menu. I was going to start playing this instead. I think I already showed it. I don't know why I'm showing it again, but I ended up starting with Infamous instead. So those were my 3, and like I said, I got those for 16/64. Divide that by 3, you get like $11.30 or something a game, which isn't bad. So I think it got out of there right around $50 for those 3 games and those 3 movies. So I was happy with that, but I still prefer the pawn shop. Most of the time. So anyway, let me grab a drink real quick, and I'm gonna start coughing, drying out. Oh yeah. Okay, so anyway, what was happening was I was playing God of War 3, and it looks visually great, and you know, I'm slashing a bunch of guys, I'm having some fun. You know, I bought some other games. I have plenty really to get started with on the PS3 and stuff. And, you know, I was playing it, but every time I would be playing it, or playing Infamous or God of War 3, I'd be thinking, damn, I wish I was playing BioShock Infinite. And this was even right before it was coming out and then shortly after it came out. And I was just like, you know, I couldn't shake it. I wasn't having fun with the games I was playing because I wanted to play this other game, even though it just came out, and I usually don't like to spend that kind of money, that new release money on games. But this game had been pushed back for over a year, and, you know, it's one of those that I'd been watching and waiting for, and, you know, I finally just decided, like I said, I went to Walmart. I was kind of looking through their Blu-ray bin and stuff, and I went there basically specifically to get BioShock. So I ended up picking up BioShock Infinite for the 360. I read a couple of reviews without trying to get too spoilery on it, just basically about how it was played or what was the best system to get it for. I heard or read, not heard, that PlayStation seemed to lag slightly on load-ups and things, and that you might be better off getting it on the 360, but there was really, you know, it's an awesome game. There's really no reason not to get it for any system. So anyway, I went ahead and picked it up. I installed it to my 360 hard drive. I think it was like 6 gigs or something to install it. I usually only play one game at a time, so like I said, I'll uninstall it when I beat it or whatever, or if I get tired of playing it, which I doubt, because I'm in the middle of it right now. So anyway, enough of that. Enough BioShockiness. We're going to dive back into it. Yesterday, you've seen my trials and travels. I went to 4 different pawn shops. 3 of them I think I got footage on as I was inside. The first one I went to was a bust. They didn't really have anything that I wanted. And they were really, really busy, so I basically just turned around and walked out after I kind of glanced at their games real quick. The second one I went to wasn't that busy. I was kind of flipping through them. I showed you a few of them, and I had picked this one up, and I said I didn't know if it was good or worth it or whatever, but it was only $5, so I decided to get it. There's a couple other ones that I'm actually going to check price on. They had a copy of Tron Legacy for $5. It was missing the instructions, and this for the PS3. But some people I've seen, kind of reviews about it, but it looked like the type of game that I would play. Third-person guy, kind of flipping around, kind of doing Prince of Persia type, kind of moves off walls and stuff. And so I'm going to see how cheap it is to get a copy of it that's used or whatever, that's complete, versus missing the directions. If it's going to be a lot more money, I might go back to that pawn shop and pick it up. But anyway, the game that I picked up that I didn't plan on picking up, or didn't know I was going to pick up until I was like, screw it, it's only $5, was this. Now, actually, I picked up this Guitar Hero 3 because the game that I actually picked up, this is the case for it. The case is really smudgy, and it had sticker residue on it and stuff, but it had been scarred here, and you see it still has a $4.99 sticker on it, but it was pretty beat up case. So I picked up this Guitar Hero 3 because it was in a better case, and it was only 99 cents. I do not have a PS3 Guitar Hero guitar. I basically paid $1 for a plastic case that was in better shape. And I figured if I do find a PS3 guitar or whatever, I have a game for it. 99 cents, in no way was I really that concerned with that game. But I did pick that up. It's probably going to go in my box, my trade box. But this is the game that I picked up. You guys saw it. It's called Afro Samurai. I went online and kind of priced this, after I bought it. It looks like it goes new for about $30, and it looks like it goes for at least about 17 or 18. That's without shipping. Used. And I don't know if it's based on like a cartoon series or an anime. It didn't look like anime, but like a cartoon series or something, because it looked like there was some seasons of this cartoon on DVD. I personally don't know. I have not followed animation that well, and especially in the last 5 or 6 years, probably since my 30s, I haven't really paid a lot of attention to animation. But the game itself, just looking at it, I couldn't pass it up. Even if it was cheesy as hell, I was like, looks like my type of game. So this was $5. And then I bought, like I said, the Guitar Hero case. This case was in a lot better shape. I need to take a little Goo Gone to it with a little bit of like a cotton swab pad or something, and take some of this sticker residue off and get some of this marker off of here. But it was worth $1 to me to have a better case on it, so went and picked that up. Finally ended up back over in Raytown, where I wanted to be in the first place. I decided to go ahead and go to the other one first, in case I did get lost or whatever. And went inside, looked around. I was hopeful that they would have this piece of retro that I did pick up, and I'm going to show it. I'm really excited about it, but you know I am. I get excited about things, but I don't ever play them. And then they had also had a red Nintendo Wii, and the red ones were special. You know, it was limited edition or whatever. But they had a black one, a white one, and a red one, and they had $60 marked in the red one when I was there the first time, and that's when I got the God of War 3 and the Metal Gear Solid 4, and I was like, hey, if the next time I come in here they have that red Wii, I think I'm going to pick it up, because I don't have a Wii. And went back in there and was looking around, and they had sold the red Wii, which was fine. You know, I still want to get a Wii just for maybe 5 to 10 games maximum that I really kind of want, mainly being Metroid games and Donkey Kong Country and maybe a couple of the Super Mario Brothers Wii games or whatever. But they didn't sell this other thing, so I'm going to show it last. But I was showing you the DVD, not DVDs. I might have showed you the DVDs, but the games they had there. And for some reason, they had 4 copies of this game. And I looked online, and you can't get this game cheaper. You can get it cheaper than $20, but with shipping, you're not going to get this game cheaper than about $22 or $23. And this is not the Game of the Year edition. And I checked, not the Game of the Year edition. So normally this game's going to run you over $20 anyway. They had theirs marked for $30, and they had 4 copies that were marked for $30. I actually found another one. So there was 4 copies total that were marked for $30. And then there was this one, which was only marked for $10. And I don't understand why. Because it had the directions and everything, and she had let me look at the disc before I bought it. But that would be Uncharted 3. And you can see there it says $9.99. It's got like a GameStop-y type sticker on the side, but I'm going to get that peeled off and use that Goo Gone here too. I'm not going to start playing this because I want to start at the beginning of the Uncharted series with Uncharted. I think they have an Uncharted 1 and 2 kind of little box setty. I think it might be Greatest Hitty though. So I don't know if I'm going to get it or buy them separate, but I'm not going to play this game right now, but I got it for $10 and the other ones were $30. So regardless of whether I was actually getting a good deal, I think I got a good deal because, like I said, I don't think you can get it for under $20 used. So for the non-Game of the Year edition and for the Game of the Year edition, I think it's a little more. But it felt like such a good deal based on the fact that the other ones were $30 and this one said $10. I felt like I was getting away with a steal, so I went in and picked this up. And like I said, I showed you the inside. It's actually got some kind of little doodaddy too, but a lot of times I'm never sure if those things are cashed in or whatever, so I never really worry about those. But like I said, I did look at the disc, and actually I cleaned it even after I looked at it at the store, but it looks good. Okay, so we're to the final piece. This is awesome. It's a retro thing. They had it in the case. I can't believe it hadn't sold, but it hadn't, so I went and picked it up. It is complete, more or less. It's got a kind of a multi-AV that works for multiple systems, but it does have an AV that works for it. I'm gonna try to show you. Well, I was going to try to show you the whole thing at once, but it's really not important. Let me unhook the cord, sorry. Very unhost-like of me. Come on, there we go. Okay, folks, what we ended up picking up, this was $20. It might be like $20, but after you see what it is, and like I said, it was relatively complete, and it came with one game, I think you'll see that it was worth it. The game, actually, I'll get to that. But anyway, what we ended up finding, folks, and these are rare, especially in the wild, to find. We found a Super NES Junior. No box, but it is complete, like I said, more or less. I did hook it up. It does work. When I say more or less complete, it came with not one, but 2 controllers, and these are Nintendo brand. This one actually just says Nintendo on it, which I think may be the one that came with it. And then this one says Super Nintendo on it. So, I'm not sure. I'm thinking the one that just says Nintendo on it was the one that they released with the Junior. See, it says Nintendo, and it's embossed into the actual plastic. I'm thinking this is the one that came with the Junior. I don't know. One of them says model 005, and one of them says model 102. So I'm thinking this one came with the Junior originally. But this is an extra controller. It does have the name brand AC adapter, which is nice. I prefer name brand adapters and stuff. I always look through big buckets of adapters and cords to see if I can find name brand adapters. This is what I was talking about. I don't know if it's a Mad Catz. It doesn't say, but it's a kind of a multi connector. It's got your your audio, and it actually has an S video out. But it has hookups for the Super Nintendo, GameCube, Nintendo 64. It has a hookup for the Xbox and the 360. It has a hookup for the PlayStation 2 and 3, and it has a hookup for the original Xbox. Well, then what's this one again? This is just Xbox 360. This is Xbox. Sorry. But, it's got a multi-connector, and then it's got S-video and everything. So, this came with it. All that came with it for $20, plus this game. This game's the signature game. I think it came with most of the systems. Mine actually came with Zelda. But I think some of the early release ones, most of them came with this. But we got a copy of Super Mario World. Now, the cartridge is a little beat up. The back label is a little bit kind of, looks like it might have gotten wet or something. Sometimes you can, find a new, a cart that, sometimes these carts, the color, will differ quite a bit. Even the front and the back of this one, the color differs slightly. It's just cheap plastic, but you can find a new back and put it on there. But I did notice on the front of the game, on the sticker, there's a little bit of a chunk out of it right over Mario. So this will probably go in my trades, because I have a copy of this that's not scarred or anything already. But I've got some of these, so I'm going to slap one of these on here. The cover didn't come with it, but I've got 3 or 4 other ones. Most of my games I have the Super Nintendo have them on them, and I've got a few that aren't being used. So basically, I got all that for $20, and then 10 for that. So I paid 30 for the Uncharted and the Junior, and then I paid $6. So it was under $40 day yesterday out shopping, and then it was a $50 day a couple of weeks ago, and then it was a $50 day when I went and bought BioShock. But hey, you know how it is. So anyway, I'm going to get back to BioShock because I've talked long enough, and I think you guys have gotten the gist. This is my pickups video for now. I'm sure I'll be finding stuff at the pawn shops and things like that. That's usually where I get my games, and that's where I'm probably going to continue to get games, is the pawn shop or GameStop for the PS3 and stuff at this juncture, considering that, you know, this year's probably our last year with these consoles. So any non-new subs, thanks for coming by. I used to do a lot more pickup videos. Lately, it seems like I'm lucky if I get one a week, maybe one every 10 days or so now. Gonna try to do some gameplay. Thought I'd maybe do some BioShock gameplay, but yeah, I don't want to give anything away. I think people want to play it. So I thought about doing some gameplay on some other games, maybe Afro Samurai. And we'll try to throw some gameplays up. So anyway, folks, thanks for coming by. Always appreciate your comments, and if you do video responses, things like that, I love those. And just a lot of cool people on here. Keep making your videos, and I'll keep watching, and you keep watching these, and we'll be all good. So anyway, signing off. See you next video.